After spending years saying that Joe Biden can't think, can't speak, can't walk, doesn't know what day it is, needs to be let on and off stages, Donald Trump is now saying, I expect Biden to be a very good debater on Thursday night. You have to see this. On the Tech Bro All In podcast, which we're going to look at in more detail later this week, Trump was asked, what do you expect at the debate? Now, you will notice Trump was extraordinarily sweaty, orange, and his right eye was almost completely swollen shut. That's not the subject matter here, but I'm just acknowledging I'm aware of that. Trump, all of a sudden, after spending years saying Biden can barely think, says, I expect Biden to debate well. Yet again, resetting expectations because the Biden's going to soil himself and be unable to speak story has backfired on them so many times. Listen to this.
Do you have a prediction for the debate next week? What's going to happen?
Well, all I can say is this. I watched him with Paul Ryan, and he destroyed Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan
True.
with the water. He was chugging water at a left and right. I didn't think a human being would be able to drink so much water at one time. And he beat Paul Ryan. So I'm not underestimating him. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. But you take a look at the last one. I happen to think he's incompetent for a lot of reasons. I think he's incompetent because he has gotten the worst policies, both foreign policy and internal policy. I mean, who would not want to have a wall? Who wants to have millions of people pouring in? Who wants to have high taxes? Taxes are going to raise by 4 times if this guy has his plan.
Is he in cognitive decline? Do you believe he's in cognitive decline, Mr. President?
Well, I shouldn't be the one to say that, but I don't think he's doing
Trump all of a sudden careful about what he says on that, huh?
particularly well, but I didn't think he was well 25 years ago. I thought he was not a smart person. And that was told to me by a certain member of the Kennedy family who was actually very friendly with me through a Palm Beach relationship. And I was told that very strongly. So I was never a fan of his. But I will say he beat Paul Ryan.
So notice how Trump is sort of backing off of the cognitive decline story. He's been telling it for 2 years. For 2 years, it's Biden can't do anything. He can't speak. He's totally demented. Now, all of a sudden, he says, I really shouldn't be the one talking about cognitive decline. Shouldn't be me saying it. Oh, really? Well, what changed? And also, I expect him to do well in the debate, singing a very different tune now that there is so much riding on this.
It was still years ago, but he beat Paul Ryan pretty badly. And I assume he's going to be somebody that will be a worthy debater. Yeah, I would say. I think okay. I don't want to underestimate him.
All right.
I think that's smart. Well, your team is telling us that they need you to go to a dinner, Mr. President. Obviously, we could keep going for hours and hours.
All right. So Trump had to go to dinner. So listen, when they have come up with 3 to 5 different excuses over the last week for why Trump shouldn't go to the debate, when even Trump changes his tune on the expected performance of Joe Biden, they are worried, and they are resetting expectations far, far lower for Trump and far, far higher for Biden. Are they doing it because they believe it, or are they doing it because they think that when you set the bar too low for Biden, then he does okay and it looks bad? We don't know the reason, but they are certainly doing it. I will ask the question again. Do you believe Trump shows up to the debate? info@davidpakman.com. Staying healthy is all about sustainable habits, something you'll actually stick to, which is why I've been using AG1 in the morning for years now. It's just so much simpler than messing with a bunch of different vitamin pills and products. And with just a single scoop of AG1, I get the vitamins, minerals, and probiotics I want, and I'm keeping my nutritional bases covered for the day. It's just easy. It's easy. I feel better. My energy lasts longer. In a recent research study, 97% of participants reported feeling more energy after 30 days of drinking AG1. In a recent study, AG1 was shown to even double the healthy bacteria in the gut. It's easy and satisfying to start your journey with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, plus 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first subscription order at drinkag1.com/Pacman. The link is in the description.